You are pulling an old book off the shelf and something moves. Small, silver, darting out from between the pages before you can even react, disappearing into the gap behind the bookcase before you get a real look at it. You already know what it was. You have seen this before, in the bathroom, maybe, or behind a box in the basement. But this time it was inside a book. Your book. And your first instinct is not just to kill it. It is to start checking every other book on the shelf for the same thing, wondering how much damage has already been done. Stop? Because killing that silverfish, while your books sit exactly where they are, on the exact shelf, in the exact conditions that let it survive there in the first place, does not protect your collection. It removes one visible insect while leaving completely untouched the actual reason a paper-eating creature was able to live inside your books at all. A condition that will keep producing more silverfish and keep slowly damaging your books, whether or not you find and kill every individual one. Let's start with why a silverfish is in your book specifically and not simply nearby. Silverfish feed on carbohydrates and specifically on starches and cellulose, compounds found abundantly in the adhesives used to bind books, in the sizing applied to paper during manufacturing, and in the paper itself. A silverfish living in a book collection is not there by accident, and it is not simply passing through. It has found an actual sustained food source, one that can support feeding and development over weeks or months without the insect ever needing to leave. This is meaningfully different from a silverfish found once in a bathroom sink, which is typically just passing through a space that offers moisture. A silverfish established inside a book collection has found something to eat there repeatedly for long enough to stay. But the food alone is not enough to explain why it is thriving there specifically, in that room, on that shelf, and not in every book collection everywhere. Now here is what almost nobody checks before reaching for the insecticide. Silverfish require relative humidity above roughly 60% to survive and reproduce successfully, and they cannot tolerate genuinely dry conditions for extended periods. This is not a minor detail. It is the single most important piece of information in this entire situation, because standard archival guidance for book and paper preservation recommends keeping storage environments well below that threshold, typically in the range of 30 to 50% relative humidity, specifically because paper, binding adhesives, and cloth covers degrade measurably faster in high humidity regardless of whether any insect is present at all. A silverfish surviving and reproducing inside your book collection is not simply an isolated pest problem. It is direct, physical evidence that the humidity in that specific space has already exceeded the threshold at which your books were beginning to be damaged by moisture alone, independent of any insect activity whatsoever. The silverfish did not create a books are at risk situation. It moved into one that already existed, because the same excess moisture that was already softening bindings, encouraging foxing and mold growth, and accelerating paper degradation happen to also be exactly the condition a silverfish needs to survive. This is the part that changes what killing it actually accomplishes. Removing the visible silverfish, whether by hand, by trap, or by insecticide, does nothing whatsoever to the humidity level in that room or that shelf. If conditions remain above the threshold silverfish require, new individuals from elsewhere in the structure will continue finding that same food source and that same viable humidity, and the cycle repeats, often for years, with each generation causing additional cumulative damage to the paper and bindings the previous generation was also feeding on. Homeowners frequently report killing silverfish in the same bookcase repeatedly over multiple seasons, each time believing the problem solved, without ever addressing why that specific shelf in that specific room kept producing them in the first place. The insect was never the actual threat to the collection. It was a visible symptom of an environmental condition that was already damaging the books through entirely separate non-biological means. and that condition remains completely unaddressed by every silverfish killed inside it. So what should you actually do? If you find silverfish in a book collection, the single most effective action is measuring the actual relative humidity in that specific location using an inexpensive hygrometer, rather than immediately treating the insect. If humidity in that room or that section of shelving is above roughly 50%, addressing that directly through dehumidification, improved ventilation, or relocating particularly valuable items to a drier part of the home resolves both the insect activity and the separate ongoing paper degradation simultaneously, because both problems share the same root cause. If humidity is already within a reasonable range and silverfish are still present, isolating and inspecting the specific books involved for existing feeding damage and storing genuinely valuable items in sealed archival boxes or lower humidity cabinets addresses the collection's actual vulnerability directly, rather than relying on repeatedly killing individual insects as they appear. What you should never do is treat killing the silverfish you found as the end of the process. If you have not measured or corrected the humidity in that space, you have removed one visible insect from a shelf that remains, in every physical sense that matters to your books, exactly as vulnerable as it was 5 minutes ago. There is something quietly useful about an animal whose presence functions, almost accidentally, as an early warning system for a threat most book owners never think to check for directly, a threat that was already working on the paper, the glue, and the cloth of a collection long before any insect activity made it visible at all. The next time you find a silverfish inside a book, you are not looking at the problem. You are looking at confirmation that the problem, the actual one, the one already working on the paper itself, has been there for some time, waiting for someone to notice. Have you ever found silverfish in your books and wondered if the damage was already done? Tell me about it in the comments.